On a recent video on earplugs, somebody had asked me to clarify more on this kind of earplugs I use and how I get them in my ears and also how I use them. So I would just say normally I use custom earplugs where you go to an audiologist and you get the moldings made and they have a filter. But right now I am getting a new pair made. Those are the kind I love. They have a filter. They look kind of like this. I don't know if you can see that. This has a little filter, but these are hard to get in your ear, and I'll talk about these in a second. But anyway, the custom ones, you just like put it right in your ear and you can take it right out. It's super easy. I don't have those right now, so the ones I'm using is something like this, which has a little filter, and that's the mid-level filter, probably taking out 15 decibels or something. Or I just use the old-fashioned foam ones. So let me talk about these foam ones first. These are the 3M brand. I have a big box of them. I use them all the time. Talking about how I get them in my ear. For these, I literally just squeeze it and jam it in my ear. It's super easy. I use these for my band gig, my Royal Hawaiian Band. It's very, very loud, or when I have to do parades, especially if I'm right in front of the drum line. I just take these full-size yellow ones, squish it at the top, and just jam it in there. I mean, you'll never get it, well, I shouldn't say never, but you won't get it all the way in you won't get it stuck because they're so big. And you put one of those in each ear and you won't be able to hear a thing. It's super muffled. It takes out absolutely everything. I use these, which I think it takes out 32, but I wear these when I don't really need to hear details of my playing. Or even I'll use them sometimes on occasion in an orchestra concert if it's a pops concert with a band, electric band, something with electric guitar and a rhythm section and stuff like that, where you're just the backing orchestra and it is so incredibly loud. You just put those in your ear and the stuff you're playing usually is neither here nor there. So it doesn't make any difference. You don't need to hear yourself. For these yellow ones, I usually have create a little family. I didn't set these up very well. But anyway, here's the regular size one. And then I will have some where I just cut off a little of the top. So it's just a little bit shorter if I don't want completely everything. And sometimes I cut it, just in half. These, you do have to be careful if you cut them though, because then they're really, really small and you can get them stuck in your ear. So when they're really small like that, sometimes I will just put it just right on the outside and I just leave it like that. And it just creates like this wall basically to prevent noise from going in there. Like I know not too long ago, somebody was playing piccolo next to me on my left side and I had my custom earplug on my right or something with a filter in it on my right. And I put in one of these that was cut down and just kind of let it sit right on the outside like that. Just so there was a little bit of bracing there because I needed to just like put it in there and be done. These other ones that have the filter, it takes a long time to get those in. One other instance I do use the full foam ones is in my right ear when I'm practicing piccolo, when I do my regular routine, warm-up routine, when I go up into the high register, middle B up to high C, I do put one of these in my right ear and I have my tuner on. I really can't hear, but I'm just working to make sure the notes come out and that's it. So I'm not hearing details. I don't have to worry about tone, things like that. So I do that when I warm up on piccolo up in the high register. Okay, so those are the foam ones. So like I said, I only use those if I really don't need to hear my own playing. What I've been using recently are these little plastic ones. These are called this Eargasm, dumbest name, but anyway, that's the brand. High fidelity earplugs. So they're musician earplugs. They're plastic and it's got these three, can't really see, but it's got three, I'll put up an image, 3 ridges, and then it does have a filter in there. So this is the second best thing from having custom. I'm using these right now for orchestra. The thing with these is you do have to like reach around, pull up your ear, and then you have this little handle thing that goes on the bottom side. You lift up your ear and then you have to just like push it in there and you kind of have to wiggle your ear around a little bit and make sure it's like sealed in there, and you can kind of feel when it's all sealed in there. Sometimes, however, you're putting them in there and one of these ridges like bends the wrong way, or it just gets all folded in on itself or something. And then you got to take it out and put it in all over again. So these are a pain in the ass, actually. But what I've been doing with orchestra is I put it in there at the beginning of rehearsal, and it just stays. It stays in there the whole time, even during break. So it doesn't move. And I always have it in my right ear for orchestra or when I'm practicing piccolo. And then sometimes if we're doing... we haven't done anything too terribly high recently, but I'll put the other one in the left ear as well. I just don't like to because, like I said, it's a pain to get those in there. You have to really make a spectacle of yourself to reach around and wiggle your ear and get it all in there and everything. So I usually just, unless something really, oh no, I just played Mahler 9 and there was an E-flat clarinet behind me and it was so piercing. I had one of these and I couldn't get it in all the way, but I would just like push it in. It's not in all the way, but I would just push in it a little bit so it took the edge off. And then I could just pull it out really quick. So I did use it for that. But anyway, so yeah, and I like these ones with the little filter. You get these on Amazon they're like $40 or $50 or something. And it's the best, like I said, second best option to getting custom. And I like them so much that I got a second pair, and these have a blue filter in there. They're the same thing. I just got blue ones because these blue ones are my my earplugs for band, Royal Hawaiian Band. And then the clear ones are my earplugs for orchestra, and they come in a cute little jar with a little lid. Also, those earplugs do come, originally they come with when you buy them and you open up the packaging, the earplugs come with the filter in them on the larger size. You have these larger size, which is their standard size, but for me it was too big. It didn't go all the way down into my ear canal because I guess my ear canal makes a hard right turn right away that I've learned from getting custom molds made. So anyway, these big ones didn't work, but they always have, when you buy that brand, they have a spare set, which are smaller, which is this size. So it's just a little bit smaller. There we go. It's just a little bit shorter. You can barely see. So I had to take out the filter of the bigger ones and put it in the smaller ones. No big deal. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Just talking about my earplug game at the moment, which I'm hoping to disregard, these earplugs altogether once I get my custom earplugs. I cannot wait. Good luck, and maybe tell me what your earplugs are working for you, and be helpful for people that are earplug shopping right now and trying to decide how to use earplugs and which brand to buy. All right, good luck.